Hey writing class, welcome back to another lesson. I just wanted to say great work yesterday, putting in the letter P in front of each sentence. That should start a new paragraph. Remember, each time a new person speaks, we need to start a new paragraph. Also, excellent work adding in your quotation marks and fixing up any sentences that had unclear words. So way to go. So for today's lesson, we're going to be looking at lesson 33, part E. So once again, we're going to be writing two paragraphs that tell what happens in the pictures. But before we do that, going forward, maybe you've noticed on your test that I've returned to you, I'm going to start putting the comments on your work directly onto your work. So if you send me a PDF or an image of your completed work, please check that, and I'm gonna add in little comments. So it would be a little highlight. If you click on that highlight, I'll have a comment maybe where you made a mistake or where you could have added a different word. So before you start today's lesson, please look back at yesterday's lesson, see if you have anything highlighted. If you click on it, it'll have one of my comments on it. And then once you're all done that, then you can begin today's lesson. So for today's lesson, we're gonna be looking at, once again, lesson 33, part E. So I'll read what it says in the book. You're going to write two paragraphs that tell what happened. So if we look in the first box, I have it right here. Right in the first box is going to be the very first sentence of your first paragraph. So I'll read it to you. It says, after school, David took his dogs for a walk. And then we also have some exact words that David will say in that paragraph. So if we look in the next picture, right, we can see his exact words are, come back here, keep away from those skunks. So you're going to want to include this in your first paragraph. Also, you're going to want to tell all the important things that are happening in this picture. We can see that David was going on a walk with his dogs, and then it names the types of dogs he had. So he had a beagle, a poodle, a collie, and a setter. So we want to tell all the important things that happened, right? What else do we notice? Maybe we can notice that the dogs got free, right, from their leash, and that they started to chase the skunk. So those are all important things that we're going to want to write about in our first paragraph. There's no beginning sentence for our second paragraph. So if we look in this box, right, once again, it's blank. So you're going to have to come up with a sentence for your second paragraph. So the first paragraph will tell about what happened when the dogs saw the skunks. And then the second paragraph will tell about what happened after the mother skunk saw the dogs. So what is the first thing that the mother skunk did if we look at the bottom picture? Right? She sprayed the dogs, or she let out a terrible stink. So maybe that can be the beginning of your second paragraph. So the mother skunk sprayed the dogs. Then if you look at the rest of the pictures in the bottom, right? So we have some exact words that David said. What an awful stink. So we're going to want to include that in your in your second paragraph, right? You're also going to want to tell about what's happening in the photos. Like I said before, the skunk sprayed the dogs. And then here, David had to wash the dogs. So we're going to want to tell all of those things in our second paragraph. We also have some vocabulary words to help you when writing your paragraph. So those words, once again, can be found right on the bottom. And those words are path, tripped, baby skunk, awful, scrubbed, and terrible. So try to include those words in your paragraphs. And also, we have 4 checks to go over. So check 1 asks us, is each sentence punctuated correctly? So don't forget, when we're starting a new paragraph or starting a paragraph, we need to indent. Every person's name needs to be capitalized. We need to start each sentence with a capital letter and end each sentence with a period or some type of punctuation. Check 2 asks us, did you tell all the important things that must have happened? So you're going to want to look at the pictures. Perhaps you want to you're going to want to put numbers around each thing that you want to write about. So for example, right here, maybe I want to write that David tripped So this will be number 1. Right? So this can be my first sentence. So David tripped. Maybe number 2, I want to say right here, I'll label it number 2 and I'll write, his dogs got free off their leash. And then maybe number 3, I'll put it right here. My sentence can be that the dogs chased the skunks. So maybe numbering all of the different important things in the picture can help you. Please use that as a strategy when writing your paragraphs to make sure we're telling all the important things that must have happened. Then for check 3, it asks us, are there any unclear words in your paragraphs? So remember, before we can use the words he, she, they, or it, we first have to introduce the person or things. And then check 4 asks us, did you write at least one sentence that names 3 or 4 things? So for that, we can write 2 different sentences in this paragraph that name at least 2 or 3 different things. If we look at the names of the dogs, right, there's 4 different dog types or breeds. So maybe one sentence can be about those. Or when David had to wash the dogs, it names 4 different things that he used to clean the dogs, right? He has vinegar, a bubble bath, deodorant, and tomato juice. So maybe you can name those things so that you check off your check 4. So keep up the awesome work, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know and keep up the awesome work. Bye.